Alright everyone, welcome to another video. Now today we're going to be reacting to the Gigantamax Pokemon Battle Royale explain video from Lockton and Noggin, the one and only. Now I just want to say really quickly, I'm very sorry that I did not drop this video yesterday. I was kind of in a bit of a, I wouldn't say burnout, but I just needed a break from YouTube. If you don't know, I currently maintain 3 different channels. And uploading on them consistently has kind of been mentally draining for a little bit. So I just wanted to take a break, chill down for a little bit, and get back into the groove of things today. Now, Legends Arceus comes out next week. I'm super excited, and we're starting off the week, I guess you could say, with a bang, even though it's Sunday. So I guess I'm not really starting the week with it. But anyways, enough talking. Let's get into this. Make sure you watch the normal video before you watch this one. And yeah, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and put the notifications on. Anyways, enough talking. Let's get into this reaction.
Whoa, have you seen that Gigantamax Battle Royale animation by Terminal Montage?
Yeah, you should watch that. You should watch that first, then watch my reaction on it. Yeah.
Right? Well, if not, do yourself a favor and watch that first. Link in the description and up here. It's way better than this video. But hey, I'm Lockton and I'm cool. Trust me, I've worked with Terminal Montage. I've watched a Scott the Woz video.
He is pretty cool. I'll say that. I've watched quite a lot of Noggins, bro. Noggins videos. They're pretty based, bro.
2 out of 3 cool. Now all I need to do is get over myself. So, in this video, I'm going to explain what happened and perhaps why. And I say perhaps here because figuring out how this particular Battle Royale should play out wasn't as straightforward this time around. With regular Pokemon, baby Pokemon, and legendary Pokemon, there are a lot of Pokedex entries and games and episodes and cards to go off of. And even though Mega Pokemon only had a couple, for the most part, they are just the same Pokemon, but more, and in excruciating pain. And I suppose Gigantamax is also just kind of more of them, but like a lot more. But there are conflicting bits of evidence about whether they are actually the size of this, or if it's all a magical illusion of sorts. It's all very hand-wavy. Biologically speaking, there's no way something alive can be that big. And yeah, years later, I still think it's a silly gimmick, but let's get into it. The simulation
it is Pokemon. Oh, I meant to pause a while ago. Yo, my Wi-Fi must be dying, dog. Holy crap. I'm sorry.
The source of Dynamax energy, though it itself is not a Gigantamax Pokemon. It is a Eternamax one. So it
that is true. Okay, yeah, I mean that's valid. I thought that was more. I mean, I think of that more as towards like just a choice to make it look more epic, but I'm pretty sure it still falls under the actual line of being a Gigantamax, right? But I mean, it did create Gigantamax, so I guess it would make sense it'd be a level above. So that's valid. I was wondering, like, yo, doesn't the Eternatus just wash?
Doesn't take part in the actual battle, but it does make sure to distribute energy evenly to all Pokemon who deserve a Gigantamax form. Except for these ones. That's the joke. They really should have gotten them. They deserve it. Now, Leon's Gigantamax Charizard seems particularly aggressive and powerful.
Especially like when you look at what's it called? When you look at Tyranitar, I feel like Tyranitar is the most Gigantamaxable Pokemon when you really think about it, right? It's literally based off of Godzilla. So I'm just here saying, like, dog, there's no way they didn't make a Gigantamax Tyranitar. That feels so wrong to me. They even have a Gigantamax Duraludon. And Duraludon is literally supposed to be like the what's it called? Like the reflection of Tyranitar, not the reflection, but the rival, I guess you could say, in Galar. So it's so weird that they didn't do that. Dragonite, okay, you can debate that. I mean, I see why, but nah, I think Tyranitar deserved it.
But here it's burning at 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which goes even higher when it roars. And it's melting buildings and trying to melt all these Melton, who are
Melton? That sounds so weird.
Go Pokestops being all over the city, and the Melton helplessly run to Lapras's back for protection, as Lapras are incredibly caring and loving. And when Gigantamaxed, the Pokedex states over 5,000 people can ride on it at once, and it's a perfectly comfortable ride.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lapras wants to help get the little Melton to safety. Gigantamax Lapras is all about that Aurora Veil, a protective shield that reduces the damage done to it, and it already is a pretty beefy Pokemon. Here, the shield protects it from even Charizard's fire. The Melton realize, though, that their soft bodies are still in danger from the heat, and so they run. Meanwhile, a very long cat Meowth ruins the economy with its signature move, Gold Rush, which creates up to 99,999 Poké-Dollars worth of Meowth coins. It's just Payday, but bigger. But hey, that's a lot.
Hey, I was gonna say, that's some bag, though. I mean, honestly, I might need to get me one of those Meowths for real.
And the perfect time for Melton to combine into Melmetal, who then Gigantamaxes due to all of the Dynamax energy all over the place. And it just absorbs all of the gold into its body. That's what they do. Absorb other metals. In this case, it's now becoming a gold-mercury amalgam, or a gold-tantalum alloy, depending on what Melmetal really is. We have a few videos about that, actually. Poor Meowth, though. The not-so-lucky cat is so up there and clumsy that it's just a big target. It's no wonder that it's the first to go. It gets sniped by Gigantamax and Teleon, who...
Yeah, it's not surprising that Meowth was the first Pokemon to get kicked out, you know what I'm saying? It's probably the weakest out of all the Gigantamaxes, right? I mean, I was gonna say it's cool, but I mean, it's literally, I love Gigantamax and Teleon, though. It's fire.
Itself isn't much bigger, but it now sits atop a tower that is its giant tail, and it snipes with a water sniper rifle. Meanwhile, Grimmsnarl is making the ground shake, and it uses its signature move, G-Max Snooze, on a Snorlax. Maybe this ogre troll isn't the most intelligent? This changes almost nothing for Snorlax, who is always sleeping and is always hungry, eating 880 pounds of food per day. And
insane.
That's before it Gigantamaxes. So of course, when it sees Alchemy, who is Cake, Snorlax needs to try to eat her out.
Dude is hungry.
Pause! But what is she doing? Why, throwing her 100,000 kilocalorie cake missiles at a bird, of course. No wonder Snorlax is interested. But that bird's name? No, it's Reginald. Reginald the Corviknight, who, as you see behind
Reginald,
whips up hurricane-like winds as it flies about. And it's surrounded by up to 8 blade birds, which are independent feathers that attack others, like fighter jets. Somehow. Hand-wavy Giganto magic. Well, the poor bird is also busy dodging shots fired from Gigantamax Blastoise, who quite literally is a battleship war fort now. So it's like a cool aircraft naval battle, World War II style, but with birds instead of aircraft. Meanwhile, Venusaur swings around 2 thick vines. If these vines slammed into a 10-story building, they could easily topple it.
Damn.
That's a Pokedex quote. So, kinda has to do that. Here's another Pokedex quote. Huge amounts of pollen burst from it with the force of a volcanic eruption. Breathing in too much of the pollen can cause fainting. So that's what it does after it gets slapped with a cake missile. Must be a gluten intolerance. Also, when Gigantamax Eevee doesn't have much going for it. It's fluffy.
It's cute, though.
Cute, and fluffy. And big. So, it's an easy target for whoever. In this case, Orbeetle, who is quite literally a UFO now. So Gigantamax Cinderace has only a slightly larger body. Most of the Gigantamax energy goes into its ball, which is now 300 feet in diameter exactly.
Wait, what?
And is infused with Cinderace's...
I actually didn't know that. That's a pretty big ball, bro. What you gonna do with that ball?
Almost like it has a will of its own. Thus, it never misses.
That's so cool.
It also roasts whoever it hits. That accuracy and heat leads to a perfect shot right through Alchemy, who normally is able to withstand hard blows like this due to its cakey cake legs. But cream melts and cakes burn, and Venusaur is on fire now.
That's smart.
Good thing Corviknight is agile and dodges Cinderace's ball, though. But remember, it
never misses.
Never misses. So it turns around. The Pokedex specifies for us that Snorlax is one of the biggest of the Gigantamaxed Mon, stating it is the size of a mountain. The Pokedex also specifies that Caparaja can change the landscape and level mountains with its trunk. And being bred to be a friendly construction equipment that loves to work, it would certainly go right for a Mon that looks like an out-of-place hill or mountain that should be flattened.
Cinderace deserved better. I will die on this hill. Cinderace deserved better. Should not have died. It should have at least been like top 5, bro. I expected it to make it to the top 5. Got so disrespected, man.
So Snorlax is like a big Katamari ball, rolling around, picking up everything it can. It squishes Cinderace because, again, its actual body is not much bigger, and Snorlax finally gets to eat alchemy. So Blastoise is a battleship,
Yay.
right? Well, Dreadnought is too. In fact, it's the Dreadnought, as well as an early ironclad warship. The whole deal with those is that they were able to ram into the sides of other warships and completely destroy them while it remains okay.
That's actually really cool. That's why I always love watching these explanation videos, because these sort of breakdowns on why some things that you really looked at lightly and didn't really like take the time to pay attention to it, it really makes you think like, damn, they really put so much thought in some of the most crazy, most random, chaotic things. Like, I did not think of that at all. I thought Dreadnought was just beefing with Blastoise because it's another turtle, but I guess not.
It rams and breaks Blastoise, and flat and short-legged Caparajah gets knocked over and can't get up after a surprise attack from Sandaconda, and then, being copper, gets absorbed by Melmetal. So Sandaconda has a shotgun blunderbuss snout, and now it holds a literal 1,000,000 tons of sand in its body that it shoots out of there, with such speed and power that it can pulverize a skyscraper.
What?
So when the pollen starts making it sneeze wildly, it knocks over Duraludon, who, when Gigantamaxed, is a skyscraper, specifically the Shard in London. But you know what's great about swirling sand? If you make it hot, you start to get glass. So here's Centiskorch, who, when attacking, makes the shape of a heater coil. And here's Colossal, who's both a coal mine and a coal furnace. Here's the thing though, Centiskorch is only 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit and is fire bug type. Colossal, 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit and fire rock. So clearly, there's an advantage there, both in temperature and that 4 times weakness to rock that Centiskorch has. So it has no chance against Max.
It's just
Rockfall.
looping it.
Colossal does have a disadvantage when against the other tanky rock type Dreadnought, however, but it's way over there. It's fine. So I didn't know that Dreadnought could do that until the anime did it. And it's hilarious, right? Also, Dreadnought's signature G-Max move is Stone Surge, which blasts water so hard it destroys the surrounding ground and rocks and forms stealth rocks, so broken rock shards all over the place. Perfect for blasting right through Colossal. Oh hey, here's the ape! Gigantamax Rillaboom, like the other starters, isn't much bigger itself, rather, its accessories are bigger. In this case, it has an entire drum set made out of trees that it uses to control giant tree roots underground with music, which it does here to restrain Colossal and shove a tree in its mouth, King Kong versus Godzilla style. Dreadnought is also an alligator snapping turtle though, so it's no big deal. And what's this? Tyranitar's arch nemesis, Duraludon? This whole scene plays out exactly like the King Kong and Godzilla fight against Mechagodzilla. But oh no! Without the drum set, Gigantamax Rillaboom isn't much different from regular Rillaboom, so he does the monkey— Wait, no! Don't shoot the gorilla! Well, at least Inteleon gets what's coming to it. Big, tall, narrow tail tower.
Every time someone attacks a gorilla, they always get that payback, bro. You can't do it. Just let him vibe. Literally, Rillaboom wasn't hurting nobody. Just let him vibe.
It has a bubble beard that makes it look a bit like Santa. According to the Pokedex, those bubbles are strongly alkaline, which is the opposite of acidic. But the fun fact is that anything too far in either direction will burn or melt things. Or you. So, any opponents hit by them will have their bodies quickly melted away.
That's not good.
Pokedex. Seeing as bubbles float and spread out all over the place, and Butterfree is a big floating slow target with highly sensitive wings, all it takes is a small burn and it goes down Mothra style. Pathetically. Elsewhere, Rapid-style Urshifu has been dealing chip damage to the fat-as-heck Snorlax, whose G-Max move, Replenish, has a 50% chance of restoring any berries it's eaten already. Good old already eaten leftovers. Gross.
Disgusting.
This whole bit with Charizard. According to Gigantamax Gengar's Pokedex entries, rumor has it that its gigantic mouth leads not to its body, filled with cursed energy, but instead directly to the afterlife. And
that is terrifying.
Hoping to steal the lives of those it catches. If you stand in front of its mouth, you'll hear your loved ones' voices calling out to you. It's a common ghost trope, luring the living into traps by showing them illusionary things that they want, or a loved one calling out to them. Oh yes, Daddy, come here. I didn't die in a car crash. I'm just through this doorway that wasn't here a second ago. Please, I'm and then they eat you. It's
Oh.
bad. And Charizard is like
That's
the
not good.
ultimate overrated Pokemon. Like, everyone at Game Freak loves it, and every other person in the fandom loves it. And Charizard cards are extremely valuable because of how much everyone loves it.
I love
It's
them.
every normie's favorite Pokemon, etc., etc. It's the easiest one to make fall for this trap. Straight to the afterlife. Eevee 2.
GG.
Eevee and its evolutions are also extremely popular. And
Wait, Eevee's still alive? I forgot about that.
only upped how lovey-dovey it is. Quote, having gotten even friendlier and even more innocent, Eevee tries to play with everyone around. But also, Gigantamax Energy upped the fluffiness of the fur around Eevee's neck. The fur will envelop a foe, capturing its body and captivating its mind. So it gives Gengar a fur ball, weakening it a bit physically, and impairing its judgment a tad, making it attack Garbodor next. Garbodor has no loved ones.
Oh.
And even with regular Garbodor, the toxic liquid it launches from its right arm is so virulent that it can kill a weakened creature instantly. And the
Damn.
toxins will seep in all the way down to your bones.
But does he have
Gengar
bones?
may have no bones,
Yeah.
and is poison type itself, but Garbodor is so gross and it just willingly shoved itself into Gengar's mouth. So Gengar collapses in on itself. Like when you
I feel like that's probably the most stretchiest thing that they've done when it comes to a Gigantamax Pokemon Battle Royale. Like, when you really break it down, Gengar looks like the one that should win the most. But I mean, that's getting way too specific. At the end of the day, this is still like a thing for fun. But there's totally people out there that like Garbodor, right, guys? Right, guys? Why are you leaving? One of you's gotta like Garbodor, guys. Oh well, never mind.
it's super disgusting and sour, like except you're a ghost, so it all goes in.
I mean, it would like
earlier,
disappear, right?
Orbeetle crashed. So why are these Melton helping dig it up? Well, Orbeetle's whole
I'm actually very interested to know about the reasoning for this.
thing is mind control. And when Gigantamaxed, if it were to utilize every bit of its power, it could control the minds of every living thing in the vicinity.
Oh,
Arguably, though, not entire Gigantamax Pokemon, but little Pokemon? Sure. So it's mind controlling some of the Melton who snap out of it after it's free, and
Makes
they go back
sense.
to Melmetal later. Now, Flapple and Appleton, despite being two different Pokemon, have matching Gigantamax forms. The heck? So we used this opportunity to reference an episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion, where the two Evas have to match each other's moves absolutely perfectly in order to defeat this angel that looks a bit like Gigantamax Melmetal, wouldn't you say? So
No,
they burp
no.
up acidic apple liquid onto it. It's organic acid, so Melmetal can't absorb it, and melts because it's easily meltable. It's in the name. Kingler snips Orbeetle in half because it can pulverize anything, but then it gets by Single Strike Urshifu.
Goddard.
These jokes write themselves. Oh look, Grimmsnarl is about to drill kick Single Urshifu. These kicks are said to bore all the holes in Galar's terrain. But Galar is so beautiful. Why would you ruin it by putting giant holes in it? This makes Fat Pikachu aghast. So it chucks the Grimmy. And Gigantamax Pikachu honestly doesn't have, like, anything.
So cute though.
It's fatter. And it shoots lightning. Ooh. Pikachu doesn't do that normally. That's really all it gets. But being so rotund, it loves the smell of those Applemon. Unfortunately, one of them gets crushed under a Blastoise thrown by Machamp. According to the Pokedex, Machamp once used its immeasurable strength to lift a large ship that was in trouble. It then carried the ship to port. Blastoise is a ship of sorts here, so yeah, there you go. These jokes write themselves. So what's the deal with Hatterene this whole time? Well, she's been slowly having a meltdown. It hates when others feel strong emotion, and there's been a lot of that in this fight and all around it, and I imagine the people in the city aren't too thrilled about the second coming of the Darkest Day either.
Wait, what?
Gigantamax
I thought there weren't any people in the city though. I thought like the whole thing was they dropped them in like a battle royale and there's no other life than themselves. You mean to tell me, Loxton, that you just canonicized? Is that a word? You just made canon the fact that there's people in these buildings? Loxton, you telling me that there's mass genocide going on? I thought this was just a wholesome video of watching Pokemon die. What's going on here?
Hatterene is known to some as the Raging Goddess. This Pokemon can read the emotions of creatures over 30 miles away. The minute it senses hostility, it goes on the attack. So it lashes out against the aghast Pikachu for being closest and feeling some strong emotions at the moment. Pika!
That was good.
Toxtricity does its big guitar smack, which is way too loud because that's its whole shtick. It's loud and obnoxious. And another Hatterene Pokedex entry, if you are too loud around it, you risk being torn apart by the claws on its tentacle. It hates loud noises too, ain't that great? And that's what Toxtricity is all about. So, that, and all this chaos, sends Hatterene over the edge. She finally snaps.
She'll be fine.
Mental breakdown style, and beams like lightning shoot from her tentacles, according to the Pokedex. Meanwhile, Machamp does that thing it always does, but to poor, fat, doughy Pikachu.
Oh.
And this Psycho Fairy Lightning is just smiting all of the Pokemon around it. Hatterene is very powerful, you see, but Machamp sees another opportunity. It throws yet another ship straight at Hatterene. Another detail here is that Machamp's fists glow hot with punchy power. Each punch is like a bomb explosion when Gigantamaxed. But now, it's chilled out, literally, from Lapras. And now, Rapid-style Urshifu gets to Dabu Dabu Dabu, the Dabu Dabu Dabber, giving Machamp a taste of its own medicine. And the final showdown is between Rapid-style Urshifu.
I still can't believe this is how it ended. Like, for some reason, I just cannot see it. I just cannot see all the Gigantamax Pokemon fighting and Rapid Strike versus Lapras being the last two. For some reason, that just feels so odd to me. But it kind of, I'm expecting a very solid explanation here.
And Lapras. Why?
Okay, thank you.
When it comes to the card game, both Urshifus are considered the best, highest, top-tier VMAX cards that are actually based on Gigantamax Pokemon. There's some Calyrex VMAX cards and Dragapult VMAX cards that are also contenders for the best of the best, but they aren't Gigantamax Pokemon, so they're not being considered here. But yeah, and Lapras is up there too, found in every top 10 list I could find, always S or A tier. So how about the lore? Well, in that case, Urshifu does get the legendary buff, but its whole story in the game is that there are many Cubfu, and you need to train one of them because it kind of stinks right now, and like, in the anime, we do see an Urshifu one-punch a Regice, so
yeah, that was crazy.
Basically, it's a legendary Pokemon, so that's a plus, but it's kind of a not as important one, and it's kind of lame, you know? Also, Lapras is specifically kind and caring, which doesn't make itself a big target. It's not actively looking for a fight or a challenge the whole time. It's in this.
It quite literally is a big target. It quite literally is a big target. But I get it. It was just, I just found that confusion of words right there to be pretty funny. All right.
Battle Royale the way both Urshifu would. Meaning, Urshifu is likely taking more damage over time as it's fighting multiple opponents. Lapras is kind of a camper. So now, how about the game specifically? Well, Rapid-style Gigantamax Urshifu does have a slightly higher stat total and a fighting type advantage over Lapras. However, Gigantamax Rapid-style Urshifu's most powerful signature move is Water type, which Lapras resists. On top of this, in the competitive meta that allows Gigantamax Pokemon for some reason, Gigantamax Lapras is generally...
Well, yeah, and what's it called? VGC, but not in normal competitive, like 1v1s. I always say normal competitive because whenever I think of comp, I think of like showdown, but like the actual public comp is VGC, and they do allow Gigantamax. I think, what is it? They only allow, well, obviously they only allow one Gigantamaxable Pokemon, or you can only Gigantamax with one Pokemon, obviously. I don't know if they limit it to one potential Gigantamaxable Pokemon. I doubt it though. So I don't know anything about VGC. I just wanted to say that.
Believed to be the most powerful and useful of all of the Gigantamax Pokemon. The toppest of top tiers.
Yeah, it's good as hell.
Only down slightly after the introduction of Urshifu. You'll see why in a moment. But Gigantamax Lapras is Ice type, which is great at killing the powerful dragons, and it's pretty tanky even before Gigantamaxing, which makes all Pokemon kinda tanky. And Lapras does have HP and special defense as its highest stats. And on top of that tankiness, its signature move, Gmax Resonance, not only inflicts high damage, but also sets up a free Aurora Veil on top of that. What's Aurora Veil? It's a move that normally can only be activated if it's currently hailing. But Gigantamax Lapras also just bypasses that extra setup time. It's just allowed to do it. And when the Veil is created, it lasts 5 turns, and during those 5 turns, it reduces all incoming damage from attacks and special attacks by half. And it's already a tank! However, that being said, Urshifu's signature moves bypass this Veil. The move's description is that they hit the target for full damage, even if it is protected by a protection move, which even includes max guard. Hence the whole line. Lapras puts up its defense thinking that it's good, but it's not. It's a fool for doing that, you know? But this is also why Urshifu is kind of up there and knocking Lapras down a bit, because it sort of is specifically designed to get past Lapras' point. But despite that, Gigantamax Lapras is still a freaking chonker. When it comes to surviving battle royales, defense is the ultimate weapon, which I believe is why Gigantamax Lapras would win a Gigantamax battle royale most of the time. To be honest, it is close between Lapras and Urshifu R. Both are pretty up there, along with Charizard being just a beast that can melt anything. But why Urshifu R and not Urshifu S? That typically just comes down to type distribution and meta. Most agree that Urshifu R's fighting water type combo is vastly superior to Urshifu S's fighting dark. While it might have more weaknesses,
Is that true though? Like defensive wise, sure, but offensive wise, the fighting dark is definitely better. Honestly, I did think Urshifu single strike, once I remembered like the Urshifus were there, I actually thought the Urshifus were gonna win, because there's not really many Pokemon when you think about it that can take a huge punch when it comes to fighting or dark, because he's got both. So I did expect Urshifu to get into that playset as well. Because, I mean, if it was just single strike versus Lapras, I'm pretty sure single strike washes Lapras. But what do I know, right? I'm just saying my own piece, you know?
It also has vastly more resistances. And also, nothing it's ×4 weak to.
True.
And also, because of R's attacks hitting multiple times, it breaks through disguises and substitutes. And it's just better all around, really. And again, in a battle royale situation, being able to rapidly strike and block opponents all around you is far superior to occasionally being able to take out one opponent every now and again.
Bro, just hit the run and run.
What led Charizard and
I said that's all right. I said just hit the punch and run. That's what I meant to say. I mean, honestly, I see what he's saying though. Like, obviously, Rapid Strike has the capabilities to survive those kind of situations a lot easier, since it's a lot faster and it has a better defensive type in. So that's valid. I do think that Urshifu's single strike though would get the most kills. Like, genuinely, it would just start punching everything. Like, just don't fight the Hatterene and we're chilling, all right? Just don't fight the Hatterene.
Snarl onto this list, and the sheer tankiness of Snorlax and Dreadnought help them out too. And Hatterene is here as a combination of its stats and utility. Being able to confuse those around it and heal also is pretty beneficial, but not enough to take the top spot since she's a bit unhinged. Also,
what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
That's a quote from Dr. Freeze, but Dr. Freeze is wrong. The dinosaurs died way before the Ice Age even happened. And there you have it. That's the reason that Gigantamax Battle Royale was the way it was. Now go watch it again, because I love Pouty Rillaboom the most, and I'm sure there's loads of hidden little jokes and Easter eggs that you missed. Go find them, there's loads. And also, if you're new, I implore you to check out our other videos all about overanalyzing Pokemon all over the channel. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And until next time, never stop using your noggin.
All right, everyone, but that's it for the reaction video to the Gigantamax Pokemon Battle Royale Explained. Very good video from Loxton as usual. I mean, honestly, they're just always so good, always so enjoyable. You just watch the time just flow by as you watch a Loxton video, right? Anyways, that's very interesting. There are a lot of things that still, I wouldn't say are unanswered, but are shocking to me, like in the way that they were handled. I do think Cinderace could have been an end game contender, because I mean, it makes sense why they didn't do it necessarily, considering their actual size in general never really got changed that much. But when you think about it in a battle royale situation, that's kind of not a bad thing, right? Because it still does crazy damage, but because of its size difference, it could hide. It could do some pretty good hiding. Also, the way that they could have used the Pyro Ball could have been cooler as well. I don't want to break it down, sound like a nerd here. Y'all get what I'm talking about. It was a very fun video. I honestly, it was so good. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day. Be safe. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We're so close to that 10K goal. I've been working on this 10K special for a while. And honestly, we're gonna hit it probably sooner than I expected, so I might need to save that special for later on, because I have a lot of things that I'm getting made. But thank you all for watching. I already said that. Bye. Bye.